Hello, everyone. Welcome back. A big week in store, big weekend in store. We got the Travers Stakes and a huge undercard. We've also got Kentucky Downs opening up on Saturday. A lot of wagering opportunities. I'm CC Broadus, and of course, I'm here with the chairman and CEO of FatBallGuyRacing.com, FBG himself, Dan Cronin. Welcome back, Dan.
Thanks for having me as always. This is a blast to do these with you, especially after you just went the whole meet at Ellis Park and had a positive ROI.
I think
Congratulations. That is not easy to do.
Thank you very much. I think a lot of that has to do with I cashed or I hit a 19-1 shot in the last 3 weeks. I picked that one on top. That helped out a whole lot. But
Yes.
yeah, right now it's not helping my lighting situation. Both my fluorescent light bulbs went out, so I'm scrambling here. I'm gonna have to leave the Daily Racing Form website on, so it'll brighten me up. But anyway, yeah, we're going to talk about this Travers Stakes. So $1.25 million Travers Stakes, 10 furlongs. This is a whale of a race. One of the best races you'll see. One of the better Travers Stakes we've seen in a while. Last year was a no contest when Sovereignty blistered horses like Bracket Buster and really, I guess, an improving magnitude last year. But this year is completely opposite, wide open, just the way we like it. We're going to go through each and every one of these horses and try to come up with a winner or a top three or a wager or something like that. So, without further ado, by the way, further ado is not here. I don't know where he's going. I guess he's maybe going to the Pennsylvania Derby. But regardless, let's talk about each one of these horses. We'll kick it off with number one, Emerging Market on the Rail, the Son of Candy Ride for Chad Brown, Clarvich Stables, 15-1 on the morning line, coming in, Dan, off of a loss versus older horses in an optional claimer going 9 furlongs at Saratoga. Let's talk about Emerging Market.
Yeah, he just seems a notch below these horses. I think they're only running him because Chad's barn's there, and all they got to do is walk him over. And could he split the field? Yeah. Could he be at the bottom of your trifecta? Maybe. But to me, he's just not near good enough to win the race. I would be really surprised if he won.
Right. I think I'm in agreement with it. This is a horse that just has never improved off of his first two starts. He's had three opportunities and not really looked good in any of them. He fooled me. I thought he was going to be the horse of the future, but I just can't see me wagering on him. And Flavian Pratt, who's ridden him in all five of his career starts, opts elsewhere. Number two is Leading Change, the son of Gunrunner. Just two career starts, and a very impressive maiden winner at Churchill Downs. In fact, the third place finisher, Find No Fault, came back to win impressively at Ellis Park over the weekend. And he won the Indiana Derby over Our Money Man, who, by the way, ironically, comes back to sell for $2 million like 1 week later at the Fasig-Tipton sale. So Leading Change, 12-1 on the morning line. You get the hot riding Manny Franco for Brad Cox, Wathman Racing. Horse on the improve.
Yeah, I think this one is very, very interesting. Don't forget Zenow ran up the track in the Indiana Derby, came back and won the West Virginia Derby for Jonathan Thomas, I believe. So that Indiana Derby is a little bit better than people think. And it was his first time going long. Here's what I keep coming back to. Brad Cox is not one of those guys that just like Dallas Stewart that puts horses into these stakes that can't win. You don't usually see a Brad Cox 20-1, 30-1. He puts them where he thinks they can win. So for him to take this horse out of a maiden race, put him right into the Indiana Derby, he wins that, and put him right into the Travers, tells me they think pretty highly of this horse, and we all know they did from day one. So at 12-1, I will have on my pick five tickets. I just I cannot let this horse beat me, knowing how slow this group is, that they're all have a possibility to be bunched together in the lane. This horse is bred to run all day long. What if he keeps going from that inside post? He may sit second or third on that rail with the spaghetti man Franco and might just keep going. So I cannot throw this horse out of my tickets.
Yeah, I agree. This shapes up to be a tepid pace, and this horse is going to be on or near the lead early. And he's got the pedigree. He's got the most upside of anything in the race. The rider switch to Franco is concerning from Arad Ortiz, who's not going to ride at all this weekend. But the way Franco's been riding lately, I mean, I don't, I can't leave this horse out. And
Well,
I wonder
I,
if we'll get 12-1 on him either.
does it tell you anything that Franco didn't go somewhere else? Because there's a few horses he could have rode. Like, could he have rode Emerging Market? Maybe. Could
Right?
he have
Because he,
got the ride on Renegade? I mean, could Pletcher reach to him instead of Tyler? That could have been. He could have rode Ochelli. So, I mean, there's a few horses here that he probably could have got the mount on, and he went the leading change. So,
right. Okay, moving right along. I think this is the key to the whole race. To be honest with you, Napoleon Solo, the winner of the Preakness, narrow loser of the Haskell to Baby Vino. Chad Summers, 0 for 24 at the Saratoga meet thus far this season, but they have switched from Paco Lopez, we'll talk about him in a few minutes, to John Velasquez, one of the best of all time. Here's my question: what's the half mile time in the Travers? Is it if it's below 48? I don't like this horse. If it's higher than 48, I think he's on my tickets.
yeah, I think it's probably going to be 48 and change. I don't see any way that it's a fast pace. I can't see anybody going early with him. I think he's going to make a clear lead. And unless Franco would somehow catch a flyer out of the gate and send leading change to the lead, I mean, that's the only horse I see getting anywhere near this horse early. And it'll be interesting. You know, will Johnny V go all out to make the lead like Paco does on him? Or will he try to just jog along second like he did in the Preakness and let him go and just, know that he's way better and go by? My question is, does this horse really want to go this far? I don't. I mean, the price is right at 8-1. You got to have him on your tickets because, sometimes in these big races on big days, the track gets funny to where the speed rolls. So I would hate to not have him on my pick five, but it would be more of a defensive move. I wish I knew the real story with the whole Paco situation because I don't know it. I mean, I don't know why he's not on, and I don't know why he's on the other horse, and not Vargas. So I'd love to have somebody involved in both those horses sit down and tell us what happened. Uh, but you get Johnny V, he's fine. Um, yeah, it's a defensive add to my pick five because he's 8-1. If he's 3-1, I wouldn't take him.
That's the best defensive kind you can find, 8-1. That's a solid
Right,
price on this horse. All
right.
right, number four. I think this is the wild card of the race, the Puma, who was kind of everybody's de facto, maybe what you would call the what's the terminology for the now horse that was coming into the Derby, the wise guy pick, the wise guy
Yeah,
horse coming into the
yeah.
Derby, and then he had some kind of foot issue or something was wrong, and he was laid off until the Haskell, and he didn't show anything in the Haskell. It was a pretty disappointing effort at 3-1 behind Baby Vino and Napoleon Solo. But now you get that prep in. He should be fitter coming into this. What do you think about the Puma?
Another one that if you're spreading out in the pick five, I'd be Man, I know everybody's got budgets. So the key is you're not going to single in this race. I wouldn't. I think you'd be nuts to single in here. So you got to find your single earlier. How big's your budget and how many of them can you take? Because if you're going to get to a fourth or fifth horse, the Puma, I think, would be one of them. If you're a smaller player and you're only going to take one or two of them or three, I probably wouldn't have him on my ticket. But I'm just scared that he needed that race. He had missed that time. He needed that race. It was in the slop. Throw it out, but he got some fitness out of it. Now is he ready? He gets his rider back. If you liked him in the Derby, how do you not take him in here? Because nobody stepped forward, in my estimation, to say like sovereignty, like, oh, well, it's sovereign. He's better than everybody. There's nobody on this chart that's faster than anybody else to me. When I'm looking at numbers, he fits right with them. And if he's going to be 8 or 10 to 1, then if you can add him, you add him. But if you can't, I get it. He'd be towards the end of my ads. But man, I'd be nervous if I didn't have him.
Right. Damned if you do, damned if you don't with the Puma because I to this day I'm still downgrading that Florida Derby. I just don't think you've got Chief Wallaby that finished third that does not want to go a distance and ground. I think we're pretty solid on that opinion at this
Yeah,
point in his career.
yeah,
And then you've got Commandment, who's he's okay. He's nice. Ran second in the Belmont Stakes. Was pretty mediocre in the Derby. I guess the book is still out on him. I just wonder if maybe he's just coming up in a crop that in that Florida crop maybe it was a little bit subpar. I don't know. We'll find out Saturday, I guess. I'm splitting hairs. I'm going to have to leave him on the cutting room floor on my tickets. But I mean, I totally respect if you like him. Number five is Renegade, the son of Into Mischief, coming off a come from behind victory in the Jim Dandy Stakes over Commandment and Silent Tactic. Prior to that, third in the Belmont Stakes at 7-5. And prior to that, 5-1 in the Derby, ran second to neck to Golden Tempo. Uh, he will be your probably solid second choice. He's never been off the board in 8 lifetime starts. Again, this is your just like we said in the Belmont Stakes. This is probably your key. He's the one most likely to hit the board. I think he's most likely to hit the board once again.
yeah, I agree. He's most likely to hit the board. As a pick four, pick five player, I'm not taking him. If he beats me, he beats me. Now, if I was making tries and supers and things like that, yeah, you have to because he's probably going to hit the board. But I'm trying to beat him at this price. I think the Irad not riding is going to be a monster factor. The fact that they couldn't get anybody else that's a Pletcher rider. I mean, all the New York riders, they want to get in Pletcher's barn. The minute Irad says he can't ride, why couldn't they get any of the other ones? Why are you going to a Florida Kentucky rider in Tyler Gaffleone? He's good, don't get me wrong. It's not that he's not good, but to me, that's really strange that they couldn't go to the second leading rider, the third leading rider, the fourth leading rider, the fifth leading rider, all through the Saratoga stats the last several years and ended up with Tyler Gaffleone. It's just weird to me. Nothing against Tyler, but when they turn for home and he's 9 lengths behind, can he get the path, do everything right? Maybe he will. But at that price, to me, I'm trying to cash prices in this race. So I'm leaving him out.
I'm going to real quick. I'm going to give a bull case and a bear case on this horse. The bull case would be, I think it was. I'll credit this to Vic Stauffer who tweeted about this horse. Whatever issues Renegade had going into the Derby, and it's pretty well documented. I think he had some type of foot issues. going into the race, and it may have cost him the Derby. He's got him corrected now because I think even in the Belmont, Pletcher said, "I wish I had one more week with him." So I think there was some type of issue going into the Belmont as well. He's had time now. Pletcher has corrected the issue, and whatever he did, it probably worked because he looked super running down Commandment in the Jim Dandy. So if you believe that, then I think this horse has a big chance. Now the bull case, or excuse me, the bear case, uh, he had just based on racing form, buyer figures, he's just now got around to that Arkansas Derby top, and I think you're going to have to run faster. You're going to have to run faster than a 98, like he ran in the Jim Dandy and the Arkansas Derby. You're going to have to run faster to win this, and you don't want to play a horse at a low price that has to improve. Like you just can't. That's not worth the in a wide open race like this. It's just not worth a play. So at 3-1 or less, I don't want Renegade. If he were to drift up to 9-2, which is absolutely not going to happen, I would be more interested. So
Yeah, I agree.
Renegade,
I agree with you. And one other thing I wanted to note is that if you look at his chart, and Pletcher has said this many times as his excuse, we needed more time in between races. His best races are when he has 2 months off. If you look at his chart, that part's true. Every time he's had 2 months off, he's run really well. Every time he's only had a month off, he did not run great. In the Belmont, he's heads apart turning for home and faded. That was at a mile and a quarter. And then he gets 2 months off, runs solid at a Jim Dandy to barely get up. Now he's only got a month off, a little less than a month off. So, you know, if they're telling you out of one side of your mouth he needs 2 months, and now all of a sudden he only needs a month, I mean, to me, it's just like you said. If he's 4 or 5 to 1, it's a different story. I think he may go off favored. I think it's going to be really close if he goes off favored or not. It wouldn't surprise me if he's 5-2. So I just got to try to beat him. If I lose, I lose.
yeah, I'm relegating him to the underneath spots in my vertical wager. All right, Dan, be nice. Number 6, Ochelli. I'm not going to criticize the connections here. They've won $842,000 with this horse, and they've hit the board in the Wood Memorial, the Kentucky Derby, fourth in the Preakness, and a second in the Ohio Derby. A little bit of a blip on a sloppy track at Monmouth and the Haskell. Do we use this horse at all?
I mean, unless you're betting supers, I can't use him. He don't belong in this race.
Yeah,
So I'll just leave it at that and be nice.
I I agree. Although I think he hit the board. He's super talented. He's really talented. I just think this is a bridge too far this time, but we'll find out. Number 7 is Sea Strike, the son of Midshipman for Chad Brown, Flanagan Racing. Flavian Pratt chose this one, winner of the Curlin Stakes, very, very emphatically, beating Chief Wallaby. Just 3 lifetime starts, obviously a lot of room to improve. What do you make of Sea Strike?
He'll be the lowest price that I take on my ticket. I am taking him. I just he's going to be in the exact same position he was in the Curlin. He's going to be sitting right behind Napoleon Solo because that's the way Pratt rides. He's not taking him back. He's going to be right on that pace that, like you said, and I think is going to be 48-ish. And leading change may be on the inside of him. He'll be stalking on the outside. He's going to get the dream trip. Now, is he good enough? I don't know, but it's Chad Brown on his home surface. It's Flavian Pratt where he's always a great rider and wins 70 races a meet. I mean, I can't leave him out. I just can't. Am I going to single him? Am I going to bet straight on him? No, no. But I will use him in doubles. I will use him in pick fours and fives. And I would not be shocked at all if he doesn't run away and win when they turn for home. If he's not three in front and they're all trying to come get him and he just keeps going, it would not surprise me.
Yeah, I'm slightly against. I just can't get over that pedigree that I can't see a son of midshipman who won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile as a 2-year-old, but he's sired primarily sprinters in his stud career. I'm just against him here. I think there's a case that could be made that he regresses off that big win on or in the Curlin Stakes. But I mean, I get it if you want to use him. If you're spreading out there, yeah, I get it. But I think the price is going to be too low for me. So we'll turn the page here. We'll go to number 8, the surprise winner of the Haskell Stakes, Baby Vino, the son of Vino Rosso. Lindsey Schultz trains, and I do not get this jockey switch at all. You're going from Vargas, who rode this horse beautifully, brilliantly in the Haskell, back to Paco Lopez. Uh, there's probably more to this than I'm aware of. Obviously, Lopez rode the horse in the Pegasus Stakes to a big victory. So I don't know. What do you make of the jockey switch, and then what do you make of the horse's chances?
Like Don Chatlow said from OXO on X, these things rarely work out. I mean, and I know it's not like Vargas rode the horse 6 times or anything. That was his first time on the horse. So I get that he's not the barn rider, he's not the regular rider. I get all that. But the ride was so brilliant, so unbelievable. I mean, that could go down in the rides of all time with Mystic Dan, with Street Sense, with Mind That Bird. I mean, some of the greatest rides of all time. How do you take him off? I just I don't think the horse is good enough to win anyway. So I'm not taking this horse at all. I think the slop had a lot to do with it, and the unbelievable ride had a lot to do with it. So I'm out. I'm not taking. Um, and I understand it's Lindsay Schultz's one shot at the Travers, maybe her only shot ever. So whatever. There's got to be more to this. There has to be more that we don't know, is
Right.
all I can say. Um, there's got to be something behind the scenes, and I don't know what it is. So I'll just leave it at that. I think it's a mistake, and you know, I'm not taking the horse.
I I'm on the fence on him. I think he's a really good horse. I think the ride was very special, and I don't think he gets that same trip in here. So I think I'm going to relegate him to the bottom of my trifectas and superfectas. So he's a pass for me, but that's a tepid pass because that price is probably going to be really good.
Yeah.
And number 9, the Derby and the Belmont winner, Golden Tempo for Cherie DeVoe. Jose Ortiz retains the mount as he has in all 6 of this horse's lifetime starts. Son of Curlin, absolutely bred for this distance. The only issue, Dan, is there were some missed works way back in June. He didn't get a prep for this race. Will that cost him? He's obviously one of the top 2, 3 horses in the 3-year-old crop. So where do you stand with him?
Well, I'm trying to beat him. Um, I've tried to beat him the last 2 times, and he beat me. Can he win? Yeah. I mean, it depends on how deep you want to go. The missed work, uh, that is concerning. The fact that we're not allowed to see the vet reports, only certain guys on the board get secret reports. So
What are you talking
you
about?
know, we'll leave that at that for another day. But I would love. There are certain horses that you would love to see those reports as you're handicapping. We know he had a problem. We know that. They've leaked that much. But what was he given? What kind of therapy did he have? How big of a deal was it? We don't know. I mean, I even had a guy swear that he'll never run again. Somebody high up in horse racing. So, but he wouldn't tell me why. Well, he's running, so that was wrong. So you got that. you got the missed work. You got the fact that Cherie is on a cold streak. I mean, a really, really bad cold streak. And if I'm going to take a bunch of price horses anyway, I'm going to use four of them. As everybody, if you followed along, you could tell the four I'm using. I'm not using him. Hey, if I can get lucky enough to get alive to an 8-1, 10-1, 10-1, and 5-1, I'll take my shot. I'm taking my chances. That's how you win in horse racing. You got to take shots. I I just don't like Renegade or Golden Tempo in here. I think something weird's going to happen, and I'm hoping I'm on one of the horses that are weird. You guys know, CC, you've been with me for almost 13 years now. I don't usually handicap like this, right? I don't run around stabbing. It's not me. It's really rare that I don't use either favorite in a ticket. I'm just not doing it. I don't like either horse. I just think 5-2, 2-1 in this field, coming from absolute dead last, off that miss and off what we don't know. I just can't do it. If he beats me, beats me. You know, I'm firing at Kentucky Downs too, so I'll have tickets all over the place on Saturday. So I'm just hoping I can get lucky enough to get to the Travers and have four shots. And if I lose, I lose.
All right, one more horse, number 10, Silent Tactic, son of Tacitus, Mark Cassie, Louis Saez. 50% of this horse was just sold at auction for $1.5 million. He comes in off of a third place finish to Renegade and Commandment in the Jim Dandy. Prior to that, about four starts ago, he won the Southwest Stakes very impressively. Again, a horse that's never been off the board in 7 lifetime starts. Draws the outside post. Do we have any love for Silent Tactic?
He would be with the Puma on which one do I take. I know I'm taking the other three. It's If I want to just say to hell with it, I'll go five deep and take half the field. He's in. If I only take four, it's going to be a post time decision on, all right, which one do I take? I got to stay in my budget. If I don't want to take them both, I really liked his last race off that layoff. But was that more about that there wasn't any speed in the race and he was able to just jog along in 47 and change, 112 and change, and then he hung around for a while and then he faded out of there a little bit? That's a possibility because he didn't really run. A 94 is not going to get within 5 lengths of the wire. He's got to improve. I think you're going to need to run 100 to 103 buyer number to win this race. I think you're going to have to run about a 5 rag to win this race. He's got to move significantly forward to win. So that's why I'm slightly against him. He's never in 7 starts come anywhere near the number that he's going to need to win. So that's why I'm leaning that he's out. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I just think he's going to get a wide trip. If you're going to get a wide trip and then you're going to have to run a career best, that's just not a good combination. So yeah, I can't use him at all. So all right, now we're down to the end here. Let's talk about your top pick and then the horses you would use in your multi-race exotics.
So leading change is my top pick for Brad Cox at 12-1. I'm going to use leading change, Napoleon Solo, the Puma, and Sea Strike in my pick fours and pick fives. So you got 12-1, 8-1, 8-1, 5-1. I'm going for the upset. I think leading change is the one horse that can move forward for sure. And the hype surrounding this horse since birth. This might be, remember Arrogate. That's all I could tell everybody. Remember Arrogate. He was just a nobody allowance winner for Bob Baffert years ago, drew the inside. Nobody considered him other than the people in the know. I didn't use him on a ticket. And by the time they turned the bend, I knew I was dead. If this horse banks the turn in front, it could be Katie bar the door for everybody else, and he could pay $25. I like leading change. I'm taking a shot.
Okay, we're very close. I've got Napoleon Solo on top, the three horse, number two leading change in second. Renegade, I mean, I crapped all over him earlier. Like, if they go too fast, I think he's the one that picks up the pieces. And as of today, we're recording this on August 25th, Tuesday. The Puma is on the cutting room floor, the same as Baby Vino. If I can get my ticket narrow enough where I can use more, I think I would use those two. So it would be 3, 2, 5 for me, and hopefully we can find some singles earlier on the card. I think there's one pretty easy one. A few races before that in the forego. I'm on Bookham Dano. That's an easy one. I think even money. I think he's probably the best sprinter in training. And Banishing comes out of that race and goes to Charlestown. So I think for me, I think Bookham Dano would be my single. If I could find maybe another race that I could go one or two deep, I could use a bunch of them in the Travers and be happy.
Yeah, I think Book of Dano is going to be a lot of people single. Senior officer is good. We're going to find out how good. Tip Top Thomas is a little sneaky in there with Pratt on the fence. If he could somehow make the lead from down there, he could get really dangerous. But yeah, I mean, most people are gonna single right there. Scottish Lassie, I think, could be tough in the personal ensign to turn the tables there. Um, you know, when is the start of the pick five? Yeah, it's right there in the personal ensign. So I think the ballerina is impossible. I know a lot of people are going to go and run to Ways and Means, and she can certainly win. But man, oh man, are there horses in there that are good?
Kill win,
Equiton,
kill
what's
win,
that?
baby, kill win. Number
Yeah, I
two,
mean, Kilwin's going to be roaring down the middle of the track at 8-1. She is way better than people give her credit for. And her test win was really, really good last August here. And you get Jose Ortiz. So, yeah, I can't wait to dig into that pick five. But, you know, logic tells you to single Bookham Dano. But if you can somehow beat Bookham Dano, look out. I mean, this thing has the potential to pay $5,000 to $10,000 for 50 cents. So I'm taking some shots. There's no way I'm going to take Ways and Means, Bookham Dano, and Renegade and Golden Tempo and try to get a $300 pick five. So that ain't happening. Um, so yeah, I'm excited about Saturday and so hopefully the powers that be are smart enough, CC, to run the Kentucky down races 10 to 15 minutes apart from the Saratoga races so all of us can bet both and not be putting them 2 minutes apart like a bunch of idiots. So we'll see if they're smart enough to do that.
all right. We'll shut her down on that note. Good luck to everybody this weekend. Have fun betting on the races. I hope your horse wins the Travers. And tell us what's going on at fatballguyracing.com, Dan. I forgot all about it.
Yep, $75 you get the day you order all the way through the week, plus the rest of Saratoga, plus all of Kentucky Downs, all of Del Mar. I mean, that's a hell of a deal. Everybody else is jacking up prices for the Travers. We made it to where you get so many cards, you lose count. So if that deal ain't good enough for you, I don't know what else is.
All right. I got to get back to yard work. Dan, you got to get back to handicapping the races. We'll see everybody soon. Have a great Travers week. Remember, gambling money ain't got no home.